and his opponent is the Rocket's Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A quarter-final this is set to be. It's Chigwell versus China. Who will prevail? We shall see as we hand to our commentary team of Stephen Hallworth and Phil Yates.
Yes, Radzi, lots of anticipation here in Riyadh. Jiahui,
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
but overcoming Ronnie O'Sullivan in a ranking event quarter-final would be quite clearly the best of the lot. Included in C's victims here, Jimmy White, 2006 world champion Graham Dott, who scored only 28 points in being whitewashed 5-0. He beat Tom Ford in the last 32, scraped home 6-5 against Pang Junzhu in the last 16.
Well, pick that one out. What a pot from Jiahui. He has certainly got his eye in now. That was a brilliant red. He is a cool customer, isn't he?
8.
I really like how he goes about his business around the table. When he gets in the groove, he looks $1 million.
9.
The story of Jiahui first came on the tour as a 17-year-old, thanks to getting through the 2019 Q School, but he was relegated from the tour in 2021, regained his place the following year by winning the World Snooker Federation Championship, essentially the World Amateur, and ever
16.
since he's been going from strength to strength. We talked about his run to the semi-final at the Crucible last year. What about earlier this year, when he was runner-up in the German Masters, appearing in his first ranking final? It is the right progression.
Yeah, and he played some wonderful stuff in Berlin to get to that final. But for that annoying Judd Trump, who just couldn't stop winning last season, he might have got his hands on a piece of silverware.
25.
Now, throughout the season, this kind of shot plays differently. Some tables are brutally tight, others are a little more generous. And I think this week,
33.
as that shot told us, they've been on the generous side. That caught an awful lot of the near jaw, played crisply.
And taking the chance to get straight into that pack of reds. He's okay. He does have a red to the yellow bag to keep this break going. And if he knocks it in, then it becomes a very good chance to win the frame. So this now a big shot for Jiahui. Big shot.
41.
What big shot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, an interested spectator, and no doubt Nop on Sankam as well.
I can't believe I've not even clicked on. You're right, he is on blacks.
49.
And well, what a chance this is. The smirk from Ronnie makes sense. Well, regardless, the opening red was absolutely tremendous. And so far, this break has been immaculate.
56.
Get the frame won first and foremost. Get yourself to within
57.
one of the semi-finals, but you're right. All of a sudden, Noppon Sankam is a little uncomfortable.
Now he's very uncomfortable. It's £50,000 for a
64.
147 here. Sankam already has made one. He's in line for that, but he might have to share.
65.
Well, he's played that black so well. He's just sort of thrown his arm at it, kind of hoping that the cue ball would just do a little bit of damage to that pack, and it's just brought them all into play. Needs that cue ball to run.
72.
Can he top this white just at the underside of the two reds near the pink? He could, but he's
73.
lost the cue ball a fraction.
Didn't want to chip that red close to a cushion, and he hasn't. It's still in open play.
And he's absolutely pured it.
He will
80.
never have a better chance than this. Highest
81.
break in professional competition, 140 at the 2020 Welsh Open and this year's German Masters.
$88.
You're
89.
right. He will never have a better chance for a maximum than this. Made slightly more difficult by the fact there's 50 big ones on it, Phil. Share it with Noppon Sankam, 25 large. If he keeps himself on the black here, the frame is won. Come on, C. He's just steadying himself now, taking a second. He knows this is his chance.
$96.
Well, the adrenaline there. He's hit that far too well. Oh, he's overscrewed that by some way.
There is an alternative red to pot, but holding on the black will not be easy. Oh, what a shame! 12 reds, 12 blacks, no maximum, but the consolation, a 5-2 lead over Ronnie O'Sullivan in a race to 6.
Jiahui to break.
But as is so often the case, number 13 turned out to be unlucky.
And he needs to get the excitement and the adrenaline out of his system now. It's very much back to task. Can he see out this game? He's played superbly well after the interval. He deserves to be in front, and he's got a very healthy lead, but he has to see out the job.
Even the two frames that O'Sullivan has won tonight, he's not really bossed them. He's not been in control at all. He played brilliantly to turn both frames around, the third and the fourth. But he's not kept C in his chair for lengthy periods.
And it's certainly a credit to his temperament, Jiahui, and his composure, how he's responded after this interval. Well, got very close to that red, but that little cannon to this red now has left it onto the green pocket, although it's very close to the object ball, the cue ball. You'd like to be pretty much straight on it. Yeah, great putt.
They are loving it. O'Sullivan, they're not loving that one. The reaction off the black, it was more of a skid than a screw back.
I'm convinced that this cue ball just isn't quite reacting as Ronnie perhaps thinks it should be. He's played a number of shots so far tonight that haven't worked out and have pretty much gone nowhere near where intended.
9.
That's a good recovery shot though. Perhaps just not quite getting the spin out of the cue ball as he thinks he's going to.
$14. $15.
History shows us, though, do not write him off. He could be 40 minutes from victory.
$21.
From what we've seen so far tonight, it's unlikely that Ronnie's going to go mad for the next 4 frames and just not miss, but he wouldn't write it off. We've seen it before. And it wouldn't be a shock.
22.
I do think if the chance presents itself to see, surely he'll get at least one chance in the next 4 frames. That he will be able to take it and that he will be able to get over the line. I've got no doubt about that, but that question mark, he has to get in first.
30.
Looks like being 5-0 Williams on the other table. The Welshman has just made a 60-plus break to leave Jimmy Robertson requiring a snooker on the colours in frame 5.
38. $45. 46. $51. 52.
Well, possibly come up a little straight on this black, so may have to take the loose red to corner. Yellow or green pocket. Well, he just squeezed on it enough to play it potentially into the middle.
59. 60. $65.
Still some work to be done. And doing exactly the right thing.
RonnieO'Sullivan, 65.
Not just playing safe, but getting another red close to a cushion, reducing the likelihood of a C clearance.
And C taking the chance straight away to try and promote one of the safe reds. I mean, he's not played a good safety shot. Shot to nothing for Ronnie. That's all it takes.
1.
For all of his excellence and entertainment value this evening, I've not been impressed by C's safety.
5.
That needs to be polished.
6.
So
13.
just giving C something to think about here, keeping him honest, Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's been a good frame.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 13, and the frame.
Yes, a good frame for the Rockets and a quick one. 5-2 has become 5-3. The best
Thank you.
for quite some time.
Frame 9. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, the last thing that Ronnie O'Sullivan wanted was that loose red to go up the table, but it has done. So can see Jiahui just find one good pot here to get himself nicely in. The answer is no.
The universal phrase you hear around the world, come on Ronnie.
One. Eight.
The knowledgeable crowd here loving that shot, and why not?
9.
The universal code for when your back's up against the wall in a game of snooker. Produce your left hand. Why not?
$17.
So many implications to this match, not least the world #1 position. If Ronnie were to be
23.
beaten this evening, Judd Trump, regardless of what happens from here on in, would leave Riyadh remaining at the top of the rankings.
$24.
I mean, look at some of the shots he's pulling off here with his left hand. It's disgusting, Ronnie. You shouldn't be
28.
allowed to do it. It's unbelievably good. The strike is just so clean.
29.
Of course, famously in the mid-90s at the Crucible, he played a match against Alain Robidoux and he played a few shots one-handed. Oh, hates that one.
36.
He's played a couple of that shot so far this evening that have just gone slightly wrong and fallen out of position. Yeah, and he doesn't like that one
Ronnie
either.
O'Sullivan, 36.
So Jiahui steps up to the table with hand on table. Chance at this long red to right corner. Ronnie really did not like that safety shot. Very, very below par for him. So slightly awkward bridge hand for C, but can he knock this red in? Well, talk about margins. That was a millimetre away from dropping in.
1.
But as the old cliche goes, snooker is a game of fractions.
8. Nine. $16.
O'Sullivan's ambidextrous skills have to be seen to be believed. And this isn't an exhibition match.
24.
He's not running away with this. He's under pressure.
25.
He was fuming that he had to play that one right-handed. What a break this is. Oh, it's just so good. So good to watch. It's a privilege to watch.
32.
And in just over 5 minutes, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to be precise, this frame is done.
41.
Lincoln, you'll miss him, they used to say. Still very much applies to this day.
48. 49. 56. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 56. And the frame.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is astoundingly good. And he's making it into his 94th. He has to win the last 2 frames, but after the previous 2, no one is discounting that possibility.
Well, Jiahui was 5-2 up, and all of a sudden, he's now only 1 in front from nowhere. And all of a sudden, the pressure is kind of on Jiahui to get this job done. He was absolutely cruising, and all of a sudden, it's become very tense for him.
Yes, the cue ball is back into bulk, but it's bounced off that bottom cushion and the red is there.
Now, this is your chance, Jiahui. It's red very close to going in for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Struck it nicely. Was really trying to get hold of the cue ball there to hold for the black. Maybe down to the fact that he's missed it, trying to hold too much. So in goes the initial red. He's come up slightly straight on this blue, which means he's going to be playing his next ball from distance. Oh, he's got a slight bit of angle. He can pinch a bit of the pocket too. That's a nicely played shot to get closer to the reds.
6.
Not sure why he's held his hand up there. He's literally played for a red ball and he's landed on one. But there we go. So he's just studying the pack of reds now. There's a number of balls that will pop. However, they're all kind of covering one another for the time being, so it's time to start chipping away at them. Pot one, release another.
7.
He'd love to clear up this black area, in particular the reds left of it, just to give himself access both sides to the black. Yeah, that's okay. That's good. So this really is now the first chance that we'll get to see
14.
as to whether C can get over the line.
$15.
This visit will tell us an awful lot about his temperament.
22.
Didn't pot a ball in either of the previous 2 frames.
$23.
Well, the consolation of not finishing the correct side of the blue is the fact that he's gone too far and he's on it to the corner. Felt that the cue ball was a natural line that it was taking to land on these reds left of the black, and he looks to have played it perfectly.
28. $29.
He's got probably 50 points available here, minimum, before he really needs to do anything. Just take what's there for the time being, just establish a healthy lead in this frame.
36.
From what we've seen so far today, this is very much a chance you would expect Jiahui to take. However, with what's on the line, a place in a ranking event semi-final very early on in this
37.
campaign, the fact that if he wins this match, he goes into the top 16 for the first time in his career, and the small figure of 100 smackaroonies on the line as well. So much at stake. Can he hold it together?
The £100,000 would be equaling his
44.
biggest ever payday. But beating O'Sullivan on a stage like this, that would be immense in the career
45.
of Jiahui.
And it really would just give him that self-belief and confidence. Just confirm it that he is a member of the top class players on the World Snooker Tour, that he belongs to be competing against the best players in the world. Any win at any given stage of your career against Ronnie is a huge feat.
53.
But to do it in this huge event would be excellent. Unbelievable. He's close. And surely that little cannon now is the shot that's going to see Jiahui over the line in this game. He's played superbly well
61.
tonight. He's really taken it to Ronnie O'Sullivan. And he stood up well to the mini comeback.
68.
This is it.
69.
Frame and match ball safely in.
And as expected, it just took the one chance. He was just waiting for that one chance to come along, that one mistake from Ronnie O'Sullivan. The missed opening red from the rocket proved to be very costly indeed. Jiahui has stepped
74.
up. He's shown his class. At 22 years of age, this boy is going right to the top of this game. He's got a very long career ahead of him. Could this be the springboard for that rise?
75. $82.
Out of position.
Jiahui, 82.
So he doesn't finish off with a century. But I'll tell you what, that was guts. O'Sullivan was flying in 2 frames. But Jiahui stood up to him. It is goodbye to Ronnie O'Sullivan.